This guy just quit the boxing match. Said he couldn't continue. That totally goes against tonight's message. Bend but don't break. See our Halloween decorations back here? We Halloween ready over here. Oh, our little lamps not on. No lamps at the Walker house. A little dark out here. Hopefully it's enough light y'all can see me. Maybe I might post up. Post up with the Halloween decorations so we can get a little light. Woo! Welcome to the Revelations with Ray. It's dark out here, man. Little ambiance. Dark ambiance. See if we get a few clicks on here real quick. Revelations with Ray, 8 o'clock, which means the NBA Finals are on. You know, Heat made it interesting, but still think the Lakers are going to pull this out. LeBron just too much, and if AD get his mind right, and they figure out that blitz, and Miami's still in trouble, so we'll see what that do. But anyway, on to tonight's subject, Revelations with Ray. We talking about, actually, tonight's title, you know, I have to give credit to my 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade youth football coach. And he used to always say something to the team, especially to the defensive side of the ball. And he used to say, bend but don't break. Bend but don't break. So that's what I named tonight's episode, was Bend but don't break. And the aha moment that led me to it, really not even aha, but just everyday things and going through life and trying to traverse life, led me to the thought process that throughout life, throughout every day that you wake up and traverse this journey and this thing we call life, you're going to run into obstacles. You're going to run into distractions, detractors, jealousy, envy, those that want your place, you know. There are some people that genuinely want to see you do well out here in the world. And I hope and pray that you recognize those people and seek those people out. But there are probably 10 to 20 times more people, as fortunate as it is to say, that don't want to see you doing well because they don't want to see you doing better than them. People are bitter out here, and that's unfortunate, you know. I wish I could tell you that we had a world of people that were looking to uplift others, but there are a community of people out there that are that way. But it's a dog world out here, man. It's real competitive. You know, a lot of people don't know what they want, but a lot of people out here are either competing for the same things, or know somebody that's competing for some of the things that you have, and you know, they've clicked up with those clicks. So but anyway, I say that to say, you know, bend but don't break. Regardless, you're gonna have days where you're down, you know, you don't feel like doing it, and you won't do it, you know, and you just can't put up with this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? But trust me, you can put up with anything that you put your mind to, and understanding that God's not going to give you anything that you can't handle. You know, as the saying goes, to whom much is given, much is tested. So expect that the more you strive for in life, the more you're going to be tested. You know, whatever it is you're striving for, especially if it's more wealth, more notoriety, the more you're going to be tested. Regardless of what you may think about people that have reached great heights, you don't truly know what those people are like and what it takes to reach the heights that they've reached. Some people will say that, you know, oh, you can't get to this part of life or climb this ladder without backstabbing people or doing this and doing that. But you don't know how these people got to where they're at, whether they truly backstabbed somebody or not. The best course of action is to just maintain your integrity and doing the right things, and amplifying your skill set so that you can climb to whatever heights you want to climb to. And understanding that those days that you don't feel like doing or don't do, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, but make sure you rebound, make sure you bend, but you rebound and you go back and make up for what you didn't do, or slacked out on, and that's you not breaking. So it's okay. You gonna bend in this life. You know what I'm saying? Your will's gonna be bent. Uh, your again, I mean, really, just your will's gonna be bent, but you can't allow your will to be broken. And often, sometimes I wonder. You see these. I would say the more I go through adult living, and I'm talking adult living in terms of being responsible for yours. Not just throwing your hands up in there and saying F this, F that, F these kids, I ain't, and not taking care of your responsibility. The more you go through adult living, and you bring kids into this world, the more the pressure mounts. And the more those that are in control of your income or your livelihood, I should say, and that's whether you're an entrepreneur or whatever, because you still have to answer to your customer base. So you still have to answer to your customer base and treat people a certain way, in order for you to, live, receive income in this money system that we're set up in, and strive to be in a position in life that you want to be in. So it doesn't matter whether you work in a 9 to 5, you have your own business. It doesn't matter what avenue you are on. Your will be tested, and you just have to remind yourself that those tough days are gonna come, and when they come, woosah, and let yourself know it's okay that I didn't complete it that day, but your character should always come back and do better the next time around. So bend but don't break. Be a strong defense out here. You know what I'm saying? And that way, when it's time for you to get back on offense, you in good position. You got good field position. You feel me? But anyway, back to what I was saying, because I kind of got off my thought track right there. Sometimes I get past these homeless people and people out here struggling on the streets or whatnot, and I've had a conversation or two with a few, but yet and still, you often wonder how people get in that position in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you become homeless, like, and just decide to live on the street? And some of these people have kids, you know what I mean? And it's like, you have to get to a very low place sometimes to just throw your hands up and not give a damn. You know what I'm saying? And there are people out there like that. If you feeling that way, I'm telling you, don't do it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that's impossible for you to handle. But I can see how, for certain people, like, the stress will get to them in certain ways, and to some more than others. I asked my father one time, like, how come he never really was, prominent, in at a job, or held any positions like that. And he said that, honestly, that when he would get talked to by upper management, or somebody would come at him sideways, like, he would go off on them. You know what I'm saying? So now you got, there goes the angry black man theory in full play. And he would just go off on them, and end up getting let go from jobs or fired from jobs. And I wanted to ask that question because, obviously, going through manhood and having children, sometimes, like I said, you want to say F it, you know what I'm saying, and go do something else. Then you put yourself in a position where you kind of like hopping around from job to job thinking things are going to change. And you do want to find something that you passionate at doing, but um, regardless of what you're doing in life, nothing changes. Like, you're gonna deal with BS no matter where you go, to a certain extent. Now, some places are better than others, but you're gonna deal with some, I shouldn't say BS, you're gonna deal with some adversity. You know what I'm saying? And especially if, I don't think all the time people recognize the talent within themselves and their potential to be greater leaders than they believe themselves to be. So sometimes people seeing you what you don't see in yourself, and they'll try to push you towards that greatness. And as much as people say they want to be great, I feel like people are afraid sometimes to be great because there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. Again, to whom much is given, much is tested. And you'll be pushed towards that greatness by people that are led by spirits. I'll put it that way. So the spirit will push you a certain way because it recognizes a quality or something inside of you that's great. And your attitude of maybe wanting to stay under the radar or be low key might make you angry because you may not understand why so much is being put on you, and it doesn't seem like other people are having this put on their plate, right? And reason being is because you have to understand, like, somebody else sees something in you. And I related even to, my music career and dealing with guys when I was signing them to my label. Like, I was dealing with some guys that were, man, extremely talented, but would always defer to others. But it was I who would say, no, you the one. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw something in somebody else that they, really didn't see in themselves. Or maybe felt it or saw it to a certain extent in themselves, but really didn't know how to hone it in and have anybody pushing them. So I just want you to think about it. Sometimes when you feel like you being pressed really hard, now you have to be smart about it and be able to decipher these things as well. But when you being pressed really hard to go in a certain direction, especially when it's in a direction of upwardness and elevation, you have to ask yourself, have you prayed for these things? Have you asked for these things? Have you asked for a better life? You got down on your knees and asked God, dear Lord, I promise you, if you just give me this, if I pray, if you just give me a little bit more, then I will, do this, whatever it is. And you're praying for more in life, and God's giving you more in life, but maybe not in the way that you see it or the way that you saw it coming to you. You may have been thinking about it coming in another way, but it's like you first have to pass this test and walk through this door and get something that will elevate you, not in the sense that you expect it, but in the sense that the spirit needs you. And then, maybe after you prove yourself along this path, you'll get what you were actually looking for. But that takes work. That takes understanding what's happening to you, and understanding that if your gut feels it and it's, things are happening that kind of seem like deja vu or repetitive, like nothing's really happening to you out of coincidence. Like, there's not that many coincidences in the world. Like, some things are like, oh, coinky dinky, but 9 times out of 10, nothing is just happenstance to you. Like, it's happening for a reason. It may come off and appear like it's just happen chance, but you need to You need to soak those situations up and soak them in and understand that these are tests for you. And how you handle these tests uh, will determine your outcome in life. I mean, it really will. The more times you pass the test, the more good you do, the more good will come about for you. And the more times you fail the test, uh, well, you'll start seeing the trajectory of your life, one way or the other. And um, I mean, I don't know how else to give it to you, but I will say, it's not all gonna be perfect, and you're not gonna pass every test, but just bend. You'll be bent, but don't break. And that's my revelations with Ray. Bend, but don't break. Don't catch yourself out here holding up signs talking about some homeless, need money or whatever. And nothing against those people. Life is hard, man. I'll be the first to tell you, life is not easy. But again, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have been given birth if you couldn't handle what's going on in this world. Take it from me. Like, you just wouldn't be here. So, man up, woman up. Do what you gotta do. Now, mean you gotta take no shit. You know what I'm saying? Understand what you want out of life. Go out there and get it. Bend but don't break. It's Ray Keller. Half of the GrayScale is going black. Deuce, love.